How's it going, everybody? We is live. It's be September the 2nd, or for me, September the 3rd. I nearly said October. I nearly jumped a month. Dear Lord. Welcome to the Hangout and Q&A for the month, which also incorporates your thoughts on our sort of Oscar predictions, things like that. And of course, your own sort of thing. Along with the usual stuff. Your questions and discussing how Venice is now becoming as bad as Cannes and everything is getting a standing ovation whether it warrants it or not. So yeah, as ever, it's AJ, myself and Owen. At least, yeah, in the order that we're presented. Left to right, up to down. As, yeah, I find it interesting that Dwayne gets a 15-minute standing ovation, and then most of the reviews are Eyes of Tammy Faye-esque in the average film, but Oscar-worthy performance.
I guess in many cases that's been enough.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm hoping it's I'm hoping it's something for him. Although it's
I was
interesting that a lot of people have also said they wish that they had Emily Blunt had more, which I don't know whether it means that's a Safdie problem, because I think Safdie did the script for it, right? Or was it somebody else that wrote it?
Yeah, it's him.
Yeah.
The thing I had heard in regards to Blunt was that she's really good, obviously, but that people might struggle with how unlikable her character is,
Hmm.
which I find interesting.
But yeah, Venice has been. That's what. It might sound critical, but it does feel like everything at Venice has got a standing ovation, whether it warrants it or not. like,
And most of them have been like in the 15 range. Like it's like it's a
yeah, like,
requirement.
what was it? House of Dynamite apparently was today, and that got 11 minutes. Oh, where Idris Elba's playing President of the United States. So this is going to be a weird double feature with that John Cena thing that's on Amazon, where where he's Prime Minister.
Heads of State, which by the way is surprisingly really good.
Yeah, compared to in the other wrestling related thing that came out like 2 weeks later, with Roman Reigns cameoing to some extent in the pickup, which was like, who commissioned that?
It's a completely pointless scene too.
As well, yeah. And then going back to Dwayne, everybody's now going, why is he so slim? Like, I did no harm to Dave Batista. Maybe he's pursuing Batista in terms of the success stuff now.
Everybody was talking speculations like, dude's never gonna work again. Like 100%, he's never doing another match. He's good now. Especially if he gets Oscar buzz, which he already has now. I know it's September, but still, he's got at least initial Oscar buzz. So I mean, this could be pretty big for his career, especially if he can find a way to start like taking some serious wins. And I honestly feel that I'm trying to manifest things because I'm good at manifestation. I'm just bad at doing it the right way sometimes. I'm not as obvious or as deliberate as I should be with my manifestation techniques. But I will say that Dwayne Johnson being in a potential best actor nominated role has been my thought process since I first heard about the Smashing Machine. I don't know why, it just jumped into my head.
The fact
I,
that
I,
the fact that like how rough it's been award season wise across both you guys over the past 2 years. The fact that this year we might be seeing Dwayne and Sandler getting recognition, if not the actual award,
Absolutely. And Aziz has a movie and Conan has a movie. I mean, this is a great award season.
I I have been seeing something that kind of pisses me off. And you know how much I hate movie discourse now,
Of course.
because everybody sucks, and people just talk to hear themselves or to complain. It's usually to complain. So Dwayne does all these movies. He does all these movies where he wears like jungle attire and he always plays the same character, and everybody's bitching and complaining. Oh, he just does the same thing. Oh, he's just making the same movie. Oh, he's talentless. Whatever. So now he has done what everybody was hoping for. He took a dramatic turn, and now he's getting a lot of awards buzz, and he's getting ovations at film festivals for a dramatic role. Now all the comments I'm seeing are, God, I hope he doesn't get nominated or win, because then his ego will be worse than it's ever been. And it's like, I suppose I can get where that's coming from, but for fuck's sake, what do you want the guy to do? Everything is a lose, apparently.
Yeah, that whole thing with Black Adam really didn't work out to his advantage. So it's kind of like that's what started all of this.
I'm A lot of people are still holding it against him and saying his ego's still there. I'm optimistic enough to think that the Black Adam thing really humbled him, and that's why he did something like the Smashing Machine.
I'm not surprised if that's the case.
That's what I would hope for.
I feel that's the direction we're going to.
Because he's been saying the whole festival run, like, oh, he was saying he was pigeonholed, but he was also saying right up front, I was too afraid to take risks. So it's like, he's finally doing the thing, the thing we've been asking him to do, and it seems to be paying off. I don't know why people are immediately trying to find another negative to go down.
Yeah. And then weirdly, we had the gaming movie crossover, in that the guy that's sort of been the guy that's presenting all the awards in Jeff Keighley, his dad Michael Keighley passed away, and then like was like, okay, that's nice for him to acknowledge it. And then over the upcoming hours, we realised he was the first chief technical officer for IMAX, and then Nolan does this massive sort of write up for him as well. So Jeff's had a hell of a day. This is, to be fair, when the IMAX things that I did see always did say, if there's issues, please email. I'm guessing it wasn't. It was obviously a network of officers. It's just he was the first one, sort of thing. But the fact as well that his last film was Sinners, and I'm guessing there'll probably be a dedication to him on Odyssey, because I think he's done something with that, as much as sort of he was possible to before he passed. So
That would make sense.
Sort of notable. And then I guess good news for Owen, for confirmation that Wake Up Dead Man will be getting its fortnightly cinema run before it heads to Netflix.
It is coming out for Thanksgiving, actually, is what I saw this afternoon.
Yeah.
So it and Frankenstein have runs, or I assume we're under the impression Jay Kelly has some kind of engagement.
Haven't seen anything yet, but I'm sure that'll drop within the next few days or so.
It may already be scheduled for a limited run in November, and then it hits Netflix in December. I think that's what it is.
That is the correct answer. November 4th. Oh, interesting. It's a free week. Select theatres November 14th, and coming out December 5th. So there's a chance that it might be around for 3 weeks, but if it's, Netflix taking up the one screen, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2 weeks and then transitions to Wake Up Dead Man in its place, sort of thing.
That might be a theater. That might be one of those. I have to go to Regal or I have to go to Cinemark because AMC does not have anything to do with Netflix movies. That's the reason why I never get to see the Netflix releases at my AMC. That's why I always have to go to another location. That's why I started going back to Regal, and that's why I started going back to the Cinemark, the one at Deezerland,
Yeah.
because AMC does not play Netflix movies.
The same actually goes for House of Dynamite as well. It's opening here on the 3rd of October, and the US on the 10th, and then Netflix on the 24th. So it seems like Netflix is trying to basically take up the screens that show Netflix for at least a 5-6 week period by the looks of it, with the overlapping and everything. Right, we have got some stuff in the chat. The usual faces: Hunter and Josie and Bry and Spencer, who leads off with, "I love this podcast. I hate Diane Warren, but love this podcast." I mean, yeah, hate's a strong word, dear Lord. Spencer says, "Have you guys ever listened to This Had Oscar Buzz?" I love it. I've watched Mona Lisa Smile and Tulip Fever because of it, and adding I love Tulip Fever, followed by AJ, you should watch it back to back with My Soul to Take.
I'm good. I reviewed Tulip Fever. I think is that the Rooney Mara one, and Ben Mendelsohn. I think that's got a tiny review on here with like 15 other movies. It's one of those.
No, Tulip Fever's the Alicia Vikander.
I'm thinking. Yep. I just combined the two movies because I was like, Una's the one I'm thinking of. But I was thinking Christoph Waltz also, who is in Tulip Fever. That was weird.
Alicia Vikander and Dane DeHaan and a whole bunch of other people. I know Judi Dench was on the poster because they were trying to say, Judi Dench is in it. You gotta watch it.
Okay, now I genuinely don't know if I've seen Tulip Fever or not. It's totally the kind of movie I would see and then forget about.
In America, it was a Weinstein film. Music by Danny Elfman. Screenplay co-written by the author and Tom Stoppard. And directed by Justin Chadwick. I guess that's...
I remember Tulip Fever existing.
Oh, that's notable.
Yeah, okay.
He hasn't directed anything since then, and what he is doing has got Kiefer Sutherland, but kind of looks like it's... I don't know. I don't think it's got a production company. But it's not got anybody major in it, so it feels like it'll be one of those sort of indie films. So Justin Chadwick's having to start again after getting all the praise that he would have done for, I guess, Other Berlin Girl and Mandela.
I just looked in my log here. I apparently have seen Tulip Fever, and I do not remember this. Maybe it might have a review. I don't know.
I just the vague thing I remember about the plot is, there was something to do with sex scenes. So considering it's produced by the Weinsteins, it's like, well, we know why that happened. Thanks, Harvey. Spencer goes on to ask, thoughts on Seeds of a Sacred Fig and All We Imagine as Light? They should have been top contenders. Yeah, they're both very good films. It's just, at least in terms of the Oscars, you do always feel like they try and not go with the same country sort of every year. So Fig being German, and German usually getting in quite often, meant that had the chance of missing out. And then it's weird that All We Imagine as Light is British but also not British, depending.
I really wanted to see those, especially Seed of the Sacred Fig, but I spiraled out of that season before I got to them, so I still haven't seen them yet.
I'll give my commentary on Seed of the Sacred Fig. A lot of good stuff back and forth. I love the ending, honestly. I really did. So that's all I can really remember about it. A lot of fun espionage.
Who did we like more in Conclave, Tucci or Lithgow?
I would probably go with I think Tucci had more to work with. I like Lithgow in it, but I feel like that's the kind of thing Lithgow could sleepwalk through and still be good.
Certainly.
And Tucci like really had to bring something.
And backing up that statement, Lithgow almost got a nomination for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They both were in talks, I remember. Tucci was like really in the conversation for a long time.
Tucci was in the conversation. It was in my lineup for a long time until. Don't forget, I was the Conclave mark before I even saw the movie. I remember putting it in all the conversations before anybody even had it anywhere.
Specifically to you, AJ, because it revolves about the bear. What did you think of Iowa DeBerry's directing on the episodes that she did? I cried as John Benfo and Liza have such good chemistry. Best episode of TV, period.
Yeah, much as I love her, I did have it in my head of like, oh, this is just that point in the show where actors suddenly decide, I'm just gonna direct now, and you can't really tell the difference. But she actually did bring more like depth and like a vision to it than I would have thought. So, yeah, she's definitely talented in that regard, especially like you were saying, the emotional stuff. Because it's also one of those ones that wasn't just they weren't like throwaway episodes. They were like really, of course, the bear has a lot of those episodes where it's like, it's not really crucial to the whole story, but it's very crucial to them as individual characters, depending on who it's focusing on. I thought that was a good place for her to be behind the camera.
Our thoughts on John Magaro. I like the guy, says Spencer.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
He's really good, and he's just gonna get better.
I know what you're gonna say, Spencer. I know what the fuck you're gonna say. Yes, he's in My Soul to Take, and he has a pretty big part in it too. And when I did that review, I tried to just ignore him because it's like I put him in the witness protection program of that review. But yeah, especially his if he's gonna do more Celine Song stuff, even though he was just a voice in Materialist, but with that and like September 5 and his Kelly Reichardt stuff, he's like he really knows who to work with too. That's really important.
Not enough people know that nowadays. It seems like.
Yeah.
At least one or two bad decisions in it. Doesn't really cost them things, but it's just like yeah, that was a misstep. I might want to try to pick someone else better next time.
Yeah, it feels like he hasn't had his I'm doing this for the money part.
Yeah.
Like he's really stuck to his guns on being in like really prestige great stuff.
In case you're wondering what the follow-up was to that, it was nothing to do with it. I really liked O Canada. Jacob Elordi always tries his hardest. I appreciate his effort with Richard Gere, who still is a machine.
That was kind of another thing too. I don't know what that's supposed to be or what the media wants it to be. Because obviously Jacob Elordi's already been in trouble. for something that's still pretty blurry on details. But I saw that thing blowing up where it's like he has a heated moment on the red carpet at the Venice Film Festival. And I guess he told one of the guys there, like, don't you ever tell me what to do or something. And he like blew up at him. So I went and I looked for the video, which took me a little bit to find.
Mm.
And it's not as all as it's not at all as advertised. He looks at a guy and in a regular tone says, "Don't tell me what to do," and then he takes a picture, and that's all it was. Like I said, I don't know where we stand on the other thing he got in trouble for a while back, but if he can behave himself, this could be a good year for him. That's more. That wasn't near as big as Denzel at Cannes getting into it with the guy that kept touching him. Denzel wanted to punch that guy, and the guy kept touching him. So I don't blame Denzel for looking that heated. Plus, there's so many stories that Denzel hates people touching him. Josh Brolin has a good one. So that's just a thing you don't do to Denzel, apparently.
The only reason I know that is because of the thing that shows up every couple of months, which is Jamie Foxx's impression of him in front of him, where they basically
Yeah.
bring that up. Like,
That's not even all his. There's a reason that's a Denzel staple. That's just really Denzel.
yeah. I find fascinating though, like, Frankenstein is getting. The one thing I saw from one reviewer was like, why is Frankenstein being made attractive? And I'm like, considering everything I've heard about Jacob's portrayal of him, about 98% of it you wouldn't know it was him. Because
Isn't
it's prosthetic sized him, basically.
I haven't read it, but isn't it a book thing that the monster's like really attractive?
At least at first, yeah. I think the original corpse that, is evolved evolved from is actually, I mean, that's why it's kind of. That's why I feel it was always the subtitle being the modern Prometheus. Feels like, with a thing like Prometheus, it seems like something that, you'd want to sort of derive as being attractive from and then, extrapolate from, sort of thing.
I want to try to read the book before it comes out.
Spencer says, I've heard Jack Audiard wants to do 2 sequels for Amelia Perez and a prequel.
How about we just know, like right now, just know.
This sounds very Ridley Scott, where we like hear this stuff and it's just talk.
I mean, mild spoilers, but the the titular character and everything.
Yeah.
I get a prequel. I don't understand sequels. Especially considering it pissed off Mexico that much. It's like, does he want the cartel putting a hit on it?
That could also be trolling. I got the reaction that it did, and I wanted to troll everybody. That's probably what I'd say. I want to do 3 more of these. That'd be like Ice Cube saying, "I'm gonna do 3 more War of the Worlds." It's like, surely you're joking.
Spencer also saying, I recommend the documentary Unknown Number, The High School Catfish. Netflix knows how to do documentaries.
Maybe I'm just paranoid. I don't know. I don't know how much I trust streaming documentaries. They seem very tabloidy.
I mean, you say that, and like Article 4 on the Google search for me to try and, find out about it is the Daily Mail. So, yes. Oh,
I
there's
literally feel
the surprising
like the
thing is
mag.
following it is Time Magazine. Because I'd have thought something like that would be TMZ. Oh, the fucking way. I guess they aren't famous enough, so it can't be TMZ. Owen Cooper will win an Oscar in the next 10 years, mark my words. I'm trying to see what he's got coming up. After the success of Adolescence. Oh, he's in a BBC Three series called Film Club, co-written by Amy Lou Wood. Okay. And has her possibly in it. So I don't know how much his character is going to be in it. And then, that's an interesting connection. He is the young version of Jacob Elordi in Emerald Fennell's Wuthering Heights. Opposite Margot Robbie's Cafe slash Kate Bush, of course. Spencer also says Tarantino should direct an episode of 1923 because we know he's directed CSI episodes. Weirdly, I kind of wonder more if he'd have done better with 1883. I don't know, because Hateful Eight. Do we establish a rough time period for Hateful Eight? I'm trying to think what war is featured in that. Off the top of my head. Oh, 1877. That's probably why I think 1883 might have been better. Because it seems that sort of era.
I haven't started down the Yellowstone rabbit hole, but I don't really have plans to either.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't know.
At least it'll get to the point though where they aren't going to do any more. So you'll at least have a set amount to go through. But then with the amount of spin-offs and related things that is getting, it's kind of getting a bit of a monolith.
I like most of his movies, but this whole new era of Taylor Sheridan being a whole brand, I don't know how I feel about that. Isn't there like some live country music thing or something they've even slapped his name on?
I mean, probably.
It's like Yellowstone got him a certain kind of fan base, and they're kind of really going all in on it.
Yeah.
It's like, I would like the director of Wind River back, please. And I don't mean Those Who Wish Me Dead. That was kind of where I kind of tuned out of it.
Spencer saying that after the hunt, struggling with a Rotten Tomatoes of 45, but Begonia is really good, saying Clayton Davis called Emma Stone a modern day Katharine Hepburn. Thoughts? I mean, after the hunt, from everything that I've seen from the story and how it's portrayed in that, I can understand why people might not be happy with it. Especially with them leaving it somewhat open-ended with what happens with that. I feel some audiences want like a definitive answer, and so the ambiguity will just cause division anyway. So I treat that with a pinch of salt. In terms of Stone and Hepburn, to some extent, though I feel Emma's more into it, but then again, I'm wondering because of the age of cinema as it was, whether Hepburn, if she had the opportunity, would have produced more projects herself rather than, just acting things. Because that seems to be where Emma's going now. She's wanting to co-produce, stuff she's in, but if not, she's willing to, I guess to some extent what Margot's doing, because Margot's Robbie's produced a few things where she hasn't actually starred in them, right?
And My Old Ass had her name on it,
Yeah.
and Promising Young Woman. I just have to bring up, because we bring this up every time, the only thing I associate Clayton Davis with is in like the early 2010s or so, when we all shamed him off of the IMDb board. That was my only reference to him for a very long time. And then it's like, holy shit, what is he doing on like Turner Classic Movies and shit? Or maybe I'm confusing him with Dave Karger, because I feel like Karger may or may not have been in our vicinity as well. I don't remember, but I don't know what to do with Begonia still, because we did the predictions, and before we started, I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not confident. And then we did them, and then the next day I was like, actually, I think I feel good about what I said. And and now some things feel more confirmed, some things feel less like the reactions to Begonia. Oh, and I know you were telling me about the reactions to Jesse Plemons.
Big time reactions to Jesse Plemons right now. And I feel
I would say he burst out of the gate winning Best Actor at Cannes for Kinds of Kindness and didn't do anything outside of like the Globes, but he did get a Globe nomination, right? But that was also earlier in the year. Begonia's kind of starting to come in at a time that it needs to. So I don't know. Because I really like my Best Actor predictions right now. The Ballad of a Small Player reactions put some confidence in me. But I'm also on this Kiss of the Spider Woman thing that not a lot of other people seem to be on, so I don't know.
You could be just ahead of the curve.
I hope that's the plan. I hope.
I mean, how many people were? I mean, obviously there were, but how many people were really on the Wicked bandwagon before it started?
I feel like people were early, and then it died off, and then it came back. That's how I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of those people that it took me a very long time. It might have been the last prediction video I did when I finally said it.
I'm tempted to say, sort of, to some extent, La La Land started that. La La Land, sorry, started that mold of a music, or at least sort of being discussed about. Because what I found interesting afterwards is Greatest Showman got very little award recognition at all, bar sort of the song stuff, and maybe a few texts here and there. But the audiences went and saw it. So I guess it's just getting the right project that's going to appeal to both audiences and the people that do the voting, which Wicked sort of fits right.
Still now, people fucking love The Greatest Showman. I don't get it. I don't get it, but people love it.
I might be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong on this, but I don't remember hearing much afterwards. It's either going to head to Broadway or it's already there.
So I'm kind of surprised it took this long, actually.
Because I'm pretty sure it's either on its way to Broadway or it's already in Broadway right now. On Broadway right now, not in.
Spencer also says F1 and 4v Ferrari are great back-to-back watches.
Yeah, oh my God, yes. DolbyDigital.com, let's go.
I don't know. It's like I said, though, if you watch Ford versus Ferrari first, it's kind of unkind to F1 because Ford versus Ferrari is too good.
And then you just triple it up with Senna, and then you have a nice little feature.
Bryce says my Oscar predictions on my channel. Some don't look that great now, even though Toronto doesn't start until Thursday. I mean, we'll see. You know, the critics aren't sort of necessarily right. You know, case in point, you know, as I previously mentioned, I think Eyes of Tammy Faye got a sort of an average score, but still got the win, so...
Not only that, but doing the actress and makeup double, too.
Don't rule out too much, right? Bryce says the Oscar movies of the 2000s that I've watched over Memorial Day weekend are Syriana, Being Julia, Being Julia, The Chorus, which I had to also watch the original 1945 film A Cage of Nightingales, and Evil. Bry has 49 films left, most being the international feature nominees and documentaries.
Have we ever told the Syriana story on here?
I don't know how it's gonna play because it's considered a pretty beloved. Well, I don't know, beloved's the word, but respected movie. It's a very respected movie.
Well, however, there was a time, a long time ago, not now, that it used to be an inside joke with AJ and Chris. And basically, when we wanted AJ to go to sleep, we'd say, Syriana.
Okay, so here's the deal. I can understand. It's got, like, you know, some really good scenes. I know Tim Blake Nelson is so great in it.
Mm.
He's not in it very much, but he's what I remember, if that tells you anything. But it was a long-standing thing in our friend group that we just couldn't get into it.
Yes.
And one of the things I remember was Owen was in there. He was sitting behind us.
I was.
And you said, I'm going to try again. It was like your third try.
Right.
And like halfway through the movie, we started hearing snoring coming from behind us.
Yes.
And I think there was another thing where it was, the whole group of us was going bowling.
Right.
But me and my brother, on our way there, we had to stop at the theater to pick you up because you were trying Syriana again.
Yes.
And it still wasn't working.
Oh.
And I got a DVD. It's a DVD I can see from right here. And I have tried to watch it again. I mean, we watched it in a full sitting in the theater, me and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I have seen it all the way through. Mind you, I would have been like 14 then. So I probably wasn't getting anything out of it anyway, because I was 14. And it's not that kind of movie. It's not a movie that an average 14-year-old sits down and goes, this is my shit. It's just not that movie.
Right.
So I can't remember the last time I tried with the DVD, but I would be curious. But for some reason, I'm not optimistic. I still think I would probably struggle with it. And I hate how that sounds because I know it's like a complex movie and it's, like I said, it's a very respected movie, but movie where George Clooney gets his fingernails ripped off, you would be surprised how dull it is. I don't know. But one of these days I will try again. Like I said, I can see the DVD from here. It's always an option to try again. But I don't know. It's also one of those Warner Brothers movies from like the 2005, 2006 area, so it might not work right now. I'll have to find out.
I do find it crazy as well, looking into it, in that it was shot in 200 different locations.
Jesus Christ.
Like, obviously, the main sort of bits are like America, Iran, and Europe. But the fact that it's 200 different sites, like that, considering the film's only sort of like 2 hours, that's not even a different location every minute. Like,
I also have to say that I am glad that Clooney has an acting Oscar because I've never bought this George Clooney only plays himself bullshit. The people who say that are fucking idiots. But for that movie, I don't quite get it, but I am glad that Clooney has an acting Oscar. So there's that. I would have gone William Hurt that year, which is really funny because I think William Hurt is also in Syriana. I don't remember, but I think he might be. Um,
again, I love the fact you say, he doesn't play himself. Yet when everybody talks about Jay Kelly, they're basically saying it sounds like it's basically George Clooney.
okay, so that's different because he's playing an actor, right?
Yeah,
That's that I can maybe see.
yeah.
But like the Descendants and yeah, because he's charming in Gravity, people say it's just him. I love his performance in Gravity. Like you can really feel him missing after he's gone in that movie, and that says something with everything else that's going on in that movie. And I adore I've always adored the Descendants. Obviously, I'm a From Dusk Till Dawn fan. He just has a presence that I really dig, and it doesn't just feel like, oh, it's just him. That just out of sight. Another one where it's like, oh, he's really charming and suave, but I wouldn't say that's the same character as other movies. He's maybe a less psychotic Seth Gecko, I guess, but it's never bothered me. And it honestly, I don't think it's going to bother me to see him play an actor in Jay Kelly. I'll probably love it, actually. There's my grandstanding for Clooney for you, if anybody needed.
Bri also says one thing to note about Hamnet I found out is that Sam Mendes and Steven Spielberg are producers. I mean, that's nice and all, but my retort to that is Spielberg produced the Thursday Murder Club and feels like a TV movie. Yet, despite that, the local cinema that I did see it in is showing it for a third straight week, so it must be getting the right people in to be able to draw. And I think Spielberg only came in somewhat recently. He's only hasn't been attached to the project from the off. Let me see if I can double check because I remember sort of looking into it. Where is it that? Yeah, Spielberg got joined as a producer just after they wrapped filming last year, roughly about this time. Whereas I think Mendes was attached from the off, I want to say. While he's busy doing 4 Beatles movies. Yeah, don't cut yourself thin, Sap.
Do we know? I kind of glanced at Tiff's lineup, but it's so long and busy. I've kind of forgotten everything. Do we know when we're seeing? Do we know when anybody is seeing Marty Supreme? Is that going to have a festival run, or is it just coming out? It
I'm trying
seems
to
like
remember. I feel like I saw it.
It seems like it should be a TIFF release, but I don't remember seeing it.
Mm,
I think
I- mm,
I'm trying to remember. Hang on.
I mean,
it,
we know that Chalamet is the Christmas King now for some reason, but
what I see on here doesn't state anything.
I'm trying to remember what the news was in the last few weeks. Because there was some film that they added for the London Film Festival, but I can't remember which one. Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. The final film will be Julia Jackman's 100 Nights of Hero. Uh, at the end, well, mid October, because it starts in early October. Which has
well,
Richard E. Grant alongside Charlie XCX. How oversight can you get?
so I saw that Amanda Seyfried's movie got a good reaction today, and I think I would like to think Venice is just sort of highlighting what we've already been saying,
mm-hmm.
which is there's gonna be so much good shit this year. It's still really hard to do predictions because the categories are going to be overflowing.
Right.
So stuff is going to get snubbed no matter what. I guess the real question is what those are going to be. So, but I do like it being confirmed that for the most part, we're going to continue to get good shit and things are delivering for the most part. I know a lot of the ovations are just like performative, but there's still a lot of positivity coming out of Venice. Like a lot. There's been what, at least 3 acts cry after their ovations. Because Dwayne did, Elordi did, and I think somebody else did too. I think Julia Roberts was emotional there at one point, even though After the Hunt didn't get great notices. But yeah, I'm really curious what comes out of TIFF, or for that matter, what wins TIFF.
So Noah
Because me,
Baumbach, Noah Baumbach's J. Kelly is the Cunard Gala screening at the London Film Festival. Hikari's Rental Family is the American Express Gala. And as we previously knew, Wake Up Dead Man is opening the festival. Although interestingly, looking at the list of films that are official competition, which in previous years has basically been nothing that has been in Oscar contention, I feel it's kind of changing because we have Mark Jenkins' next project, Rose of Nevada, the guy that did Bait and Ennis Ren or whatever it is, which are really good films, and also Testament of Anne Lee, which I know I've got in a few places in contention for stuff, is actually in competition as well, as is Nia DaCosta's Hedda Gabler adaptation. And then there are the sort of, the international ones as well. World of Love from Yoo Ga-eun of South Korea, Voice of Hind Rajab, Landmarks, which is 5 different countries, Hair Paper Water, Black Rabbit, White Rabbit, which is UAE and Tajikistan, Bad Apples, which is Jonathan Etzler, which has Saoirse Ronan in it, among other people. And Black is Beautiful, the Kwame Braithwaite story, which sounds more like a documentary, but yeah, so ironically, at least as of time of recording / streaming, the full festival lineup, bar the mystery film, which won't get revealed until it happens, actually will be revealed tomorrow, Wednesday, the 3rd of September. So that's where we'll find out if Marty Supreme shows up. Because as it stands, I don't think it's showing up at New York yet.
It's not listed for anything except for a Christmas release.
What? Even though last year is now an anomaly, it seems. What wins TIFF? Is it going to be something that's already on all of our radars, or is something going to American Fiction into the conversation? Do you think? Because we know you would think an audience award wouldn't mean anything, but anybody who's been following award season for quite some time knows that TIFF's audience award is something else. And we know not to go down this path, but obviously it paid off for Neon to do what they did for them. But the whole idea to postpone the TIFF winner from last year to now sadly seems to be dissipating. So I wonder if we'll get back on track with the track record of the TIFF winner being a big player, whether a surprise one or an obvious one.
I always feel it's interesting though with that because of course that will incorporate both the gala presentation, so the one that are the sort of actual sort of premieres, along with the ones that will basically be either Canadian premieres or a North American premiere sort of thing as well, because they can't be listed as for some reason gala because although I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I'm just seeing a lot of write-ups about Roofman, even though that is premiering at TIFF rather than Venice. Yeah. I love the fact though that Bloomin' Telluride is just, oh yeah, here's Ballad of the Small Plane.
What's interesting too about American Fiction specifically is that if I remember correctly, when TIFF started, everybody had pretty much already assumed that The Holdovers was winning the audience award. And the fact that it kind of almost did, if not for American Fiction. So things were kind of in the direction everybody thought, just nobody thought to factor in American Fiction. So it's like, I just wonder if that movie for this year is hiding out somewhere.
Yeah.
Because had people even heard of American Fiction before TIFF's lineup went up?
Ooh.
I don't really remember any mention of it before TIFF. Is my microphone on?
Yeah. I'm just trying to work out. Yeah, I'm not sure of that off the top of my head.
Because it's always really exciting when that happens. I hope there's another American Fiction like lurking somewhere that we aren't looking at yet.
To me, it'll be more key to some extent, actually, not just what wins, but what actually is the top three. Because if we go over at least the last sort of 10 years or so, bar the last time that only one thing from the year got any further recognition was Imitation Game in 2014. At least two of the things have been award recognized, be it either screenplay or picture, along with various other categories. But the writing and the actual best picture seems to be something that does reasonably well for the top three. Um, I sometimes wonder if, when we look back on next year, or sorry, when we look back on the 2024 calendar as it is, where and if Life of Chuck would have featured if it hadn't have been for the staggered, general release.
Okay.
Which, whether that's Neon playing it idiotic. Because I feel Neon's got like a big thing that's out this year that isn't Life of Chuck, so that's probably what they're weighing on more either.
Like I said, I don't want to seem like I'm intentionally ignoring how much it did pay off for them, but
Yeah.
yeah. But it's the Life of Chuck fumbling that's baffling. It could have had a pretty smooth release in October, because it's not a horror movie or anything, despite being King, but Owen, we were talking about this. October is surprisingly kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
There's like
irony is the only sort of significant horror thing that from Neon is Chris Stuckman's Shelby Oaks. There isn't really sort of anything else aside from what other studios are sort of putting out.
there's only like 2 or 3 horror movies in there as far as like big releases, like The Black Phone, and it's Five Nights at Freddy's October.
No, that's December.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think there was one more thing like at the beginning of October, and then that's basically it for in October as far as big releases. And then everything else is like an awards contender here, and the Smashing Machines in October.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
And
there's Good Boy.
Yeah,
the
it got
haunted
a
house
bigger
thing
reaction with
the haunted
the
house
concept.
movie told from the perspective of the dog.
so it's like Baxter. I don't know if anybody's seen Baxter, but
Basically, it's Marley and Me meets Presence, I guess. I don't know.
Don't you dare disrespect Presence.
that's,
Well, the
that's
fact that it's told from the perspective of the dog.
I don't care. Ugh.
so yeah, you could. I think, like I said, it's not even horror. I just think in general, putting The Life of Chuck in October, I think would have been really smooth. What the fuck was June about? I remember when it got its June release date, and I was baffled then.
There's Bone Lake. There's Dream Eater, which I saw a trailer for today. Yeah, that's literally it.
To some extent, Frankenstein.
I mean, it's not listed on the list I have here, but that's because Box Office
mean,
Mojo is on it. But yeah,
Considering the knowledge of the thing, it would be considered somewhat horror.
And I know we've had this rant before, and I apologize, but this is just I'm nuts over this. It's like the point Owen you keep making. They made it a secret movie.
yeah,
And the whole point of a secret movie is word of mouth, right?
exactly.
So you do the secret movie. To my understanding, the people that went to the secret movie took to it.
They definitely did.
Had like big reactions from those audiences. And then they decided to just do nothing with that. It didn't go like hardly anywhere. And like I said, then they turn around and release all the headlines that say, "Oh, Mike Flanagan has a Stephen King failure." It's like, well, it has nothing to do with the movie, I promise you. I don't know why the hell Doctor Sleep didn't do well, unless it was the length. But I suppose there'd be reasons. But it was. I guess we always deal with the fact that good shit fails all the time, box office wise. So it's the way
Yeah.
it works. And stuff like, you know, another helping of How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo and Stitch are at the top of the box office. But I won't do that rant again either.
Jaws is now #2 in the box office at this moment.
See, that's fun. Because there was a long time where the re-releases wouldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I like hearing that they're actually successful now. I don't know what changed. I have no idea what changed, but it's nice to see.
Gonna end up doing really well box office wise too.
I hope so. Not that Disney needs more money, but I love Hamilton.
I will finally see it on Monday.
You get to see what my favorite movie of 2020 was in a theater 5 years later.
It's like Soul.
Yeah.
Literally.
I didn't like Soul near as much as I liked Hamilton, but it's the same release pattern.
Yes. So, speaking of that secret movie, so I'll date this because this is September 2nd. 19 days to my birthday. Anyway, the thing about it is that the secret movie was the threesome, the new Zoe Deutsch movie that I could have watched yesterday, but I didn't. And Batman and Batman Returns were in Dolby Digital, and I didn't. I went to the movies today because they threw out the gauntlet and they gave us Echo sets at Voices for Labor Day. So I was there all day. So I did 2 trips to Disney property this week. And every time I go there, it costs me like $40. So just the transportation back and forth without buying anything at all.
I guess if you want more content, we might have to pivot. Because I feel like this conversation's road is leading towards us talking about Caught Stealing, The Toxic Avenger, and The Roses. And if we do that now, I'm not.
I did just get out of Toxie like an hour ago, basically. Well, hour and a half ago.
Yeah, if you still want those as a separate video, I should probably pivot somewhere else. It's like, well, because what happens is we'll have a little discussion here, and it'll be like, well, I think that covers it, right?
Spencer says, I'm excited for October for AJ's content. He always delivers.
Yes.
Weirdly, the follow-up to that is, The Sun really made Hugh Jackman sad.
I still never saw that. I don't, like... I was, like, so hyped about Zeller after The Father. I would have watched him do anything. And then everybody said what they said, and it got the reception that it did. I think I just forgot about it. And then I've had no desire to seek it back out.
Didn't it have like extremely early like awards buzz, and then it just kind of like disappeared, like it didn't exist?
Yeah, it's that thing people do every award season where it's like, oh, this person's last movie was a huge success. I'm just going to say them again for everything. And it doesn't always work.
And then also saying, Florian Zeller, you're still great. Don't give up hope.
I still love I've had a lot of people tell me they can't watch The Father more than... I watched The Father several times because of all the detail.
Well, we know he's working on his next film's called Bunker, which will have Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem. So we'll see who picks that up in terms of distribution. Bry also says, my assumption of Ari Aster being a producer of Begonia might have thrown off some people who saw it at Venice. Then again, it'll be interesting whether Begonia gets compared too much to the original.
I'm having trouble. I want to see the original. I'm having trouble locating it.
Yeah, it's not something that is as accessible as like some of the others have been.
Oh.
To be fair, Save the Green Planet. Yeah, it probably isn't sort of streaming in many places, depending what distribution it has internationally, if at all. Maybe one of the people will get, if there's enough interested in it, maybe it will get some sort of like special Blu-ray release at some point. Bry's saying that Buzz Lightyear is coming back to Macy's Thanksgiving Parade as a brand new balloon. Only thing is it just a tie-in to Toy Story 5 trailer? Probably getting associated. I'm guessing the first Toy Story 5 teaser's getting stuck on what's the Disney film for Thanksgiving this year? Frozen 74.
Well, you might want to be careful with that Buzz Lightyear balloon because Snoop Dogg might run and hide from it. Nobody knows that story.
No, I mean, his reasoning was it suddenly happened, and his 6-year-old grandkid was watching, and he didn't know how to explain the scene to the 6-year-old. And I'm like, why should they?
Well, they're
if
bringing
you
Toy
explained
Story
all the
back.
adult jokes to a kid in Shrek, they go, what?
They're bringing Toy Story back in the theaters this month, so that could be something to do with it too.
Oh yeah, it is having an anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're all old as fuck. It's 30 years old.
Yes.
Josie's saying, Owen, I messaged you on Twitter my awards for first time watchers of the summer to read out. Remember, read bottom up.
There's one though you sent me the other day, actually, is what I have.
Spencer says Blunt and Malin Ackerman should do a disobedience style drama.
Where is Malin Ackerman?
Kmart.
I don't know what she has been doing.
I think she's on a TV show or something. Usually, if you're wondering where an actor is, they're on a TV show somewhere.
Let's double check. Yeah, main role in The Hunting Wives, that was on Netflix a few months back. And doing some random British comedy film with Martin Freeman and Josh Hutcherson.
That's the most fucking random cast I've ever heard.
From the guy that's done no movie that I even recognise. Okay.
Oh.
I guess it's worth shouting out that we lost Scott Spiegel recently. I reviewed a couple of his movies last October. If I remember correctly, he's the guy that introduced Lawrence Bender to Tarantino. So he's a big deal.
And Graham Greene as well from Dances with Wolves and Die Hard with a Vengeance. I feel that's the first place I saw him.
Yeah.
Before being aware of Dances with Wolves.
Okay, we're good.
I read something. Is it when we did our movie club for Die Hard with a Vengeance? I remember reading a story where like it was kind of a while after they'd done the movie too, but Graham Greene went through like a really bad depression, and it was Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson that like got him out of it. That was the first. For some reason, when I saw it, that was the first story that popped in my head.
It sounds about right. Bri saying standing ovations at festivals now feel like Broadway musicals. No, because the Broadway musicals now have people singing along in the audience because they think that that's the appropriate thing to do. I'm amazed that hasn't happened yet with the Evita run. I guess that's why she goes out on the balcony, so she can't be up. She can't be interrupted because she's outside. Bry also asks our thoughts on the Criterion lineup for November, being Breakfast Club, House Party, Burden of Dreams, Hell's Angels, L, and a 4K of Eyes Wide Shut.
House Party's interesting. It is culturally significant, but I remember it's like these movies that like people knew and definitely people loved. I remember like Love and Basketball and stuff like that. And that they're now finding this really prestige setting. Hollywood Shuffle's another one. Like a lot of the ones about black culture. It's really interesting how much it's exciting how much Criterion has.
There's also I'm guessing the Eclipse series isn't technically part of the collection. It's just distributing Abbas Kiarostami's early shorts and features, alongside it, sort of thing.
And yes, I love that cover for Eyes Wide Shut. I will need to get my hands on that.
Josie's saying, I've recently finished reading the story of the Blue Planet by Andre Snea Magnuson. And then one battle after another is screening for critics in a couple of days, and the social media embargo breaks in a week. I'm excited, and I still think people are underestimating it. And then adding to AJ, because of what we've been talking about, movie discourse is exhausting, and exhausting is in all caps.
I'm still leaning one battle after another might be divisive, but my mind will be open.
Have you got
I don't even know.
Josie's list of new watches, Owen?
Yeah, I got him.
And I know she singles out a few of the ones that she specifically wants to highlight in the chat, but
okay. Summer awards for Josie's first time watches. Stunt choreography went to Pedicab Driver from 1989. Death Trap from 1982 won editing. Little Girl of Hanoi from 1974 won sound. Score went to Basil Palladores from Flesh and Blood in 1985. Flesh and Blood also took home costumes. The 10th Victim in 1965 took home production design, color cinematography, but the Little Girl of Hanoi took on black and white cinematography. Supporting actress went to Nina Lee Chi and Finney Ewan from Pedicab Driver. Christopher Reeve from Death Trap won supporting actor. 10th Victim won adapted screenplay. Original screenplay was The Paper. Dave and Stephen Cook. Lead actress was Hein Rostam from Cairo Station. Howard Vernon took home lead actor for Silence of the Sea from 1949. Acting ensemble went to Dogma, you damn right. Director went to Elio Petri from The 10th Victim, and also Best Picture went to, surprise to no one, The 10th Victim.
And then Josie says the new watches I want to highlight: 3 silent films by Joseph von Sternberg, Bed of Roses from 1996, Paul Verhoeven's Flesh and Blood from 85, The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane,
Nice.
Vanya on 42nd Street, Being Two Isn't Easy, and Blue Steel.
Nice.
That's a good mix there.
Blue Steel is one of those movies that, first of all, it's really exciting because it's like post Near Dark, but it's like still early horror.
Mm.
But it's just like that quintessential Cop versus Killer movie of the 90s. I think it's actually like 1990. It's like right there at the beginning of it. So it's still got like the 80s flavor in it. I really like Blue Steel a lot. And Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane really got under my skin. And I've still only seen it once, and that was probably 15 years ago, and it's still like lives under my skin.
Josie's apparently also emailed over updated script dictions that you can read aloud if you want, Owen.
Yeah, I have those. I want to see if it's the same ones I had before, because she sent them to me a while back. So script dictions, what I'm seeing here. So updated one, so it's the newer ones that I have in front of me. Okay, that's fine. Supporting actress looks like Sun Yi Jin from No Other Choice, Mari Yamamoto from Rental Family, Tiana Taylor from One Battle After Another, Charlotte Rampling, Vicky Creeps for Mother Sister, Father Mother Sister Brother. That's gonna be a fun one to try to say all words even. Wumni Masaku from Sinners, Elle Fanning or Inga I. Lilias from Sentimental Value, Leah Drenda or Lainey Geseller from Sound of Falling, Emily Blunt for The Smashing Machine, Odessa Azion for Marty Supreme, Miriam Afshari Hadis Pakbatan for It Was Just an Accident. Supporting actor would be Tom Waits, Adam Driver, Luca Sabat for Father, Mother, Sister, Brother, Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value, Sean Penn or Benicio for One Battle After Another, Paul Mescal for Hamnet, ? David Johnson for The Long Walk, Park Hee-soon for No Other Choice, Akira Imoto or Takahiro Hira for Rental Family, Idris Elba, Jared Harris or Jason Clarke for House of Dynamite, Ashley rules, Miles Caton, Delroy Lindo, Jack O'Connell for Sinners, Ibrahim Azizi, Muhammad Ali Al-Samir for It Was Just an Accident. You're looking at adapted screenplay, Wake Up Dead Man, Train Dreams.
Just real quick about supporting actor. I'm pretty psyched about Jason Clarke working with Catherine Bigelow again. That might be something. The end.
All right. Adapted is Wake Up Dead Man, Train Dreams, Scarlet, One Battle After Another, No Other Choice, The Long Walk, Little Amelie, or The Character of Rain. Life of Chuck, Hamnet, The Day the Earth Blew Up, Begonia. We have the lineup for original. The Testament of Ann Lee, Sorry Baby, Sinners, Sentimental Value, The Secret Agent, Resurrection, Rental Family, Marty Supreme, It Was Just an Accident, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, House of Dynamite, Father, Mother, Sister, Brother, Black Bag, or Arco.
I didn't mention Sorry Baby in our prediction video. I think it goes without saying, if you saw my review, that I would love for that to happen, probably more than anything.
Well, speaking of that, lead actress, script dictions, Eva Victor for Sorry Baby. Lena Urzendowski for Sound of Falling, Emma Stone for Begonia, Amanda Seyfried for Testament of Ann Lee, Renata Reinstaub for Sentimental Value, Shu Qi for Resurrection, the voice of Hind Rahab from Clara Korori, Rebecca Ferguson, House of Dynamite, Jessie Buckley, Hamnet, and Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Best actor, Jackson Yee for Resurrection, Dwayne Johnson, in giant letters it says The Rock for The Smashing Machine, Jesse Plemons for Begonia, Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent, Paul Mescal for Hamnet, ? Harry Melling for Pillion, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Brendan Fraser for Rental Family, Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Lee Byung-hun for No Other Choice. And then we have director, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Park Chan-wook for No Other Choice, Jafar Panahi, It Was Just an Accident, Yorgos Lanthimos for Begonia, Be Gone for Resurrection, Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Mona Fastvold for Testament of the Sea, Testament of Ann Lee, new movie, Catherine Bigelow, House of Dynamite, and PTA for One Battle After Another. So picture lineup: Testament of Ann Lee, Sinners, Sentimental There was no other choice. Marty Supreme, Little Amelie. It was just an accident. House of Dynamite, Hamnet, father, mother, sister, brother, Begonia. So it's another rousing game of loaded questions.
I do really, really want that Jarmusch movie, like right now. I love that I was already excited enough for it and I saw the cast list, but it's like the fact that the still day releases of just Tom Waits. And I don't think his character's even named yet in the cast list. At least I didn't see one when I looked. But yeah, I really need another drum. And it sounds like it's like pure him too. Like it's like super downplayed, like in the Patterson vein. Or even going back to like Permanent Vacation vein. That would be amazing. Mystery Train is like my ultimate comfort movie. Kind of Night on Earth is too. I'm just gonna name Jarmusch's filmography. Here we go. Down by Law. The Dead Don't Die, which is a weaker one. Broken Flowers. We can go whenever. I'm just going through Jarmusch's filmography just to see if I can.
Ashley, continue.
Dead Man. Go ahead.
Josie say, I'm wondering since Hamnet's period whether it could give Rickard a run for its money in costuming.
It's possible.
I always feel the advantage that Wicked had is the amount of costumes that you've got to deal with. Because the more numerous stuff, if you're costuming it them, I feel that's going to get more recognition.
What's the other one we're talking about?
Wicked and Hamnet.
For good.
Well, I wonder if the I Lied to You scene alone would be centers in that conversation. Even though apparently they borrowed a lot of their costumes from Blade, but the Blade that never happened. By the way, while we're on the topic, are we under the impression that I Lied to You is eligible? Because I feel like whether it is or isn't, we have to get that live performance at the ceremony, right?
It's likely.
If there's one thing I would ask for the ceremony, it would be a live performance of I Lied to You with all of that. I'm sure they could pull it off. Coogler did it in one shot. Surely they can.
Hunter actually replies to it. If any movie's going to give Wicked a run for its money, it'd probably be Frankenstein. Especially with how Del Toro is emphasizing how he wanted everything as much as possible to be practical, including costumes and whatever.
I can only imagine Frankenstein's production design is fucking nuts, and I can't wait to see it.
Hunter once again reminding us that it's a phenomenal watch, because I think Hunter mentioned that when we did the talk a few weeks back. Jay Kelly was decent. And also saying, right now I have Sandler or Linda winning supporting actor. Josie asking both you guys, how about conceptually Rebecca Ferguson playing Jason Mewes' wife in like a goofy comedy where he's the idiot dad and she tells him he's an idiot all the time? I was originally thinking one of the sentimental value ladies playing the role, but I think Rebecca Ferguson could actually pull it off.
It's weird to me how much I can actually visualize this.
I think Jordan would appreciate it, honestly. I really perfect to play me. Let's go.
Hunter also says Hamlet does have potential to get in costume design. Well, for sure. Conclave was in my top 5 last year. Are any of us planning to see The Long Walk? Well, AJ, because it's got, it's the next chapter in the story of the Stephen King adaptation.
I can literally tell you the day a review for it is going to go up. It's October 3rd. There will
Uh-huh.
be a. It comes out the 12th of September. There'll be a review for it October 3rd. October is very carefully scheduled.
Which, knowing
You will get
Lionsgate, means it'll be streaming by then.
And it's going to be a book versus movie kind of thing.
you will be getting your daily content in October. I'll put it that way.
Hunter says, I also watched Testament of Anne Lee. Not a bad film, but Amanda Seyfried truly shined. Oh, so maybe that's the Eyes of Tammy Faye this year.
I don't know. Like I said, I like Seven Veils. I did, and I know that I'm not the only one that did. I'm the only one on this panel that did. That's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not like there's a review for it. I've said what I said.
That's fair.
Bryce says, I recommend you guys on YouTube watch a series called What If the Oscars Had 10 Nominees by Plagman Rules. It's basically if the Oscars from the period of 1960 to 2008 had 20 nominees for Best Picture, which he worked on for 2 years. It goes 2000s, 70s, 90s, 60s. Hang on. 60s with a drink if her says sure, why not throw in another musical in there? And then the 80s. Oh, Josie's saying crazy fans need to remember celebrities are human beings. After what seeing happen to Rhea Ripley in France, yes.
We've had some issues this past week with some stuff too, so I understand where you're coming from more than you know, Josie.
Well, it doesn't help that Shotzi dresses up like Bray Wyatt. Oh, Bry got it wrong. It's 20. It's 10 nominees. It's not 20. Oh, what the? That's interesting. Josie's saying there's an expose apparently on Club Chalamet. The account is not an actual fan club. It's just a 58-year-old super fan.
What is Club Chalamet?
I thought you were rhyming it to be. It was Chalamet. That would have been a scandal.
No, it's Sandler. That's even funnier.
Hang on. How old's Adam Sandler? Is he 58?
Wow, he's
Close to it.
I was gonna say, if he's not, he's very close. Has he broken?
He's exactly 58. His birthday's in 7 days.
Oh.
Confirmation. I even changed the way that was verbiage there. Good job.
Oh, and Hunter. I guess Hunter feels the same way about most of us. In all caps. Let's not even get a prequel or a sequel to Emilia Perez, a movie that nobody cares about.
I like Selena Gomez on it, but I'm a little biased, so.
I think I liked her the least of the cast.
I'm a fan, though. That's another thing. Well, and it's not just because of this. It's because I was a fan of Alex Russo, so there you go. I've been on the ground floor.
I love Only Murders in the Building. I can say that.
Ring Breakers.
Yeah, I mean, again, she's probably the weakest of those four, if you're talking about just the girls. No, Harmony Korine's wife was probably.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Hudgens and Benson were the stars of that movie besides Franco, is what we're talking about.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I guess a bunch of Twitch people are going to be unhappy. G Fuel.
Oh no!
G Fuel G Fuel decided to just shut up shop.
Yeah, officially.
Literally only 2 days ago, they were sort of pushing Hatsune Miku.
So I'm looking on social media like a little bit ago, and I saw that G Fuel was going to close. So yeah, if you want to check out my review of the G Fuels I did on this channel, they're on the Sip and Snack playlist.
The stream, I guess that probably means all the other ones like Gamer Sups and all that are gonna have to step on
Ghost.
the gas and whatever and take the place. Hunter does add with the Amelia Prez stuff. Truthfully, as much as I despised it, Saldana and Gomez were the only two people that kept the glue together for that awful film.
Saldana was genuinely good. Like I said, the only beef with her win is that it's the wrong category. I think she's deserving.
I wouldn't go that route, but I understand where you're coming from.
Well, I mean, I like of the nominees, if I remember the nominees correctly. I mean, Rosalina is probably my favorite of the nominees, but like,
Yeah.
it's like we were saying though when we did our personal lineups. It's like they were just when we did our own. If we picked the nominees, they were just at least for me, they were so far away from the Oscar lineup.
Right.
And not just for the obvious reason. Just in all ways, more or less.
Ashley, as a Brit, Beatles or Stones? Beatles for me, personally. On the top of music biopics, imagine an Oasis biopic depicting the beef between Liam and Noel. I sense that could happen.
There is a movie slated for 2026 that I don't know anything about that is going to be called Wonderwall, which is going to be what you're asking for. But far as I know, there's no one high profile in it. So getting unknowns to play Liam and Noel would make sense too. If this thing is actually going to happen.
Just trying to see if there's anything about it. Oh. It's from 8 months ago, but like supposedly filming at Wembley Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, and Sofia Coppola attached to direct, supposedly. Which is interesting. That okay, so it's on Wikipedia, not Wikipedia, IMDb, I should say. Although whoever's writing it hasn't done a huge amount of work. And there's a load of people rumoured to attach, but nothing's actually gone into production, so take it with a pinch of salt so far. Bry on the Emma Stone stuff saying she could be a director in the future if she keeps producing more films. I think that's probably her interest as well. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if she starts like what's her name from Bloomin' Argyle and Jurassic World, Bryce Dallas Howard, because she started off doing episodes of like Mandalorian or stuff like that, at least in terms of directing.
So. Yeah, she did that documentary too.
I feel she could do that, and then if she wants to get her feet properly wet and go into a full-on project, that might be where she gets to gauge what she's comfortable with and whatever.
So, like we were saying too, the fact that she produced A Real Pain, I Saw the TV Glow, and Problemisa all in the same year is a really good jumping off point.
Yeah.
Because if it was something too in like that indie style. Of course, I also wonder how much she might. She's like so in the Lanthimos world now. I wonder if she'd do something like that if she directed too. I feel like it'd be one way or the other, or some combination of super indie and Lanthimos, which would be pretty wild, like like Alps or something.
seems like the only stuff she's currently attached to in terms of production is a little white Corvette. What is this plot line? A nerd and his wild older sister look to sell $1 million of cocaine they find in a dead father's sports car. Okay. And then, Jesse Eisenberg's musical comedy.
Yeah.
With Julianne Moore and Paul Giamatti. But also Halle Bailey.
I just got distracted. I have the Roku screen up right now where it's the scrolling city and a big ad for one battle after another just slowly went by.
Every time I think about Roku, I think about the fact that it's always playing at the CCs me and John Paul go to all the time.
Hey, it's The Conjuring, man. Not as
That's
interesting.
next week.
Josie says Chalamet's birthday is 2 days after Christmas, and no, it's not doing a festival run. As of now, I think Smart Money says Rent or Family for TIFF People's Choice, but surprises can happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Sentimental Value or Hamnet places top 3. Speaking of caught stealing, Jane's Addiction's Been Caught Stealing was on the radio. And then also Jack Kelly. New name, I think. Ask you, AJ, do you have a 4K player and or TV, and what 4Ks do you have in your collection if you have any?
I don't have a shitload. Some of these steelbooks, like Cliffhanger and Halloween Inn. This Haunted Mansion that's like really hard to get a hold of. That goes for like $100 something online. This 2001. And I just got Sinners recently on 4K and Smile 2. I got this copy of Leviathan not knowing it was 4K.
Oh.
So that was a nice surprise. Okay, so I have a few Disney 4Ks that I wouldn't have otherwise, like Turning Red and The Rise of Skywalker and Spielberg's West Side Story. I got those with the reward points before that died. That might be about it. I've very, very, very recently been moving over to the 4K area. So, Nosferatu, the new Nosferatu as well, which looks incredible, as you can imagine. That might be about it. I'm gonna keep thinking of more, I'm sure, as we go, but those are the ones off the top of my head. Was that the question? Just which ones I had?
Yeah.
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 And from the answer, obviously, yes, he does have a setup for it.
I need a better TV, which I will hopefully work on in the future.
Right, and then I don't think there's anything else with you, Owen. We'll round it off as we usually do with the Oscars game.
Yeah, Josie was saying, was thanking us for letting her chime in.
So it's makeup and hair of the 90s. Which means we've only got... I was going to say 3, but for some reason I guess we must have had a tie, so it became 4 in 99. So for 1990, Dick Tracy beat out Cyrano de Bergerac and Edward Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands is one of my all-time favorite movies. So is Dick Tracy. And Dick Tracy's makeup is unreal.
Tell me about it.
Absolutely, that deserved it.
Definitely going with Dick Tracy here for sure.
Yeah, as sort of impressive as Edward Scissorhands is, the recreating the comic style that Dick Tracy does and the effects that it does is pretty impressive. Sorry, big nose Bergerac. For 91, Terminator 2 beat out Hook and Star Trek 6.
Star Trek makeup's always really good, but and I've always have a soft spot for Hook, but that's T2 I think is right.
Yeah, for the practical stuff that they do have. Because I feel some of the spots, at least, when you get T1000 being in not human positions, isn't always CGI. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a Stan Winston, so what do you expect? Speaking of, we bring him out again as Bram Stoker's Dracula in '92 beat out Batman Returns and Hoffa.
I mean, it's got to be Dracula, but that penguin makeup is iconic. But it's got, it's I objectively it's Dracula.
What I find fascinating with that is Stan Winston was in Batman. V. Neil was both Batman and Hoffa. And Greg Canham was Hoffa and Bram Stoker's Dracula. So the amount of crossover of like the same people was like, holy shit. Uh, for 1993.
Oh, and did you have 92?
Oh, good.
I didn't go with 91,
Oh, go
actually.
ahead. Sorry.
Okay, just call me Mr. Cellophane. Hook was 91, and Batman Returns, obviously. The Penguin makeup alone, just like AJ alluded to. I mean, you can't turn that down.
It's still insane to me. I've known Batman Returns my entire life. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that that is Danny DeVito when I see Danny DeVito looking.
And then if you take the look that he has as the Penguin with the look of Tim Burton himself, you have Elijah Wood in The Toxic Avenger.
I heard it was DeVito's Penguin and Riff Raff is what he used, which makes a lot of sense.
Riff Raff makes sense. Now, thinking about it, yeah, but I was thinking it definitely had like a Tim Burton quality to it. But yeah, Riff Raff makes perfect sense.
So yeah, 93. Mrs. Doubtfire beat out Philadelphia and Schindler's List.
Yeah, it's again, it's a movie I've known my entire life, and it's still crazy. The Mrs. Doubtfire makeup is insane.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, I'd probably go with that as well. Then 94. Ed Wood beating out Forrest Gump and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
I assume a lot of it, if it was makeup and hair back then, that would make more sense. I'm guessing a lot of it's Landau. And what's his name that played Tor Johnson? Wasn't he a wrestler?
Oh,
George Animal Steel.
Yeah.
Um, Of the nominees, I guess that makes sense. What did Forrest Gump? Well, Forrest Gump had aging
The
on
aging.
Sally Field. Is the aging on Sally Field about it?
Ooh.
Forrest's giant beard, maybe when he was running.
Frankenstein. Frankenstein's kind of an obvious one, but I also De Niro always looked kind of weird to me. I don't know. I mean, it's impressive what they did, but I don't know. I think by default, I'll just stick with and say they did it right. That would they seem to have picked the right ones for the most part in this decade so far.
Right, 95, where Braveheart, sorry, beat out My Family. What the hell's that? And Roommates. What the hell's that?
Is
And
the
then
family
apparently
thing?
Braveheart's makeup was done by Peter Frampton. No, not that one.
My family was that a Marissa Tomei movie?
I believe
Just
so.
double checking. My Family was Jimmy Smits, Ed James Olmos, and S.I. Morales. A Mexican American family emigrating to East LA from Mexico. With a young Jennifer Lopez
Hmm.
in it. And then Roommates is Peter Falk, D.B. Sweeney, and Julianne Moore.
I don't even think I've seen that.
It has a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, yet it's an Oscar nominated film.
I
What the
guess
hell?
it's great. I guess it's Braveheart by default. That's an interesting lineup.
Oh, the director of My Family 2 years later gave us Selena. So I was right in a young Jennifer Lopez before she was famous. Because then he made the next film that
Yeah.
made her famous.
The almost connection makes sense too.
Yeah.
That's kind of a weak one. Not to say anything bad about those other movies, but that's a pretty weak one.
Yeah. Then 96. I guess by default we'll have to both say Braveheart, right, Owen?
Yes.
For 96 we have Nutty Professor beating out Star Trek First Contact and Ghost of Mississippi.
The James Woods makeup, yeah. Well, Star Trek always makes sense, but again, the Nutty Professor is another one. I've no, this is a common theme. I've known this movie my whole life, and I still can't quite wrap my head around it. And that's just Sherman, let alone like the rest of the family. Just Sherman is a makeup miracle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's again, they totally made the right call, I think.
Rick
I know
Baker
who the
again.
next one is too, and it's another really good call.
More Richard Baker praise. That's the important thing. Owen, what will you say?
I concur.
Yeah, I'll probably say. Although the effort they do for borging up Patrick Stewart's pretty good, so.
I mean, that's back when I used to watch Star Trek, though. So I had this phase for a while that I was watching Star Trek. So that was part of it. But yeah, the Nutty Professor, you can't beat that.
Oh shit, something that it didn't win. 97, Men in Black beat out Mrs. Brown and Titanic.
I Let's say it again in unison. I've known this movie practically my whole life. I
Yeah.
still cannot wrap my head around the fact that that's fucking D'Onofrio. That is insane. I love that they even thanked him in their speech for letting him torture them without complaint, torture him without complaining. That's wild ass makeup. That's like got to be one of the better winners of the decade of very strong wins. Especially with the decomposing as it's going. There's so much detail in it.
Yeah.
And having just seen him several hours ago, it's even more impactful after you see him in Men in Black.
I guess Titanic would just be general makeup and hair rather than sort of the special effects makeup, as the category seems to be in recent years.
Hmm.
Case in
Well,
point.
isn't
Okay.
I think Gloria Stewart's in makeup. I think she wasn't as old. Oh shit, that just occurred to me too. When we talked about Hook, once again, because I've known Hook since forever, I always forget how much makeup because I just thought she was that old when I saw the movie as a kid. And the same for I think it's the same for Gloria Stewart in Titanic.
Oh,
That doesn't change
interesting.
the fact that the Edgar makeup is flawless.
An interesting combo here for 98. Elizabeth beating out Shakespeare in Love and Saving Private Ryan.
I guess that's kind of another one where it just kind of feels like it's by default, I guess. I guess that's what I'd say.
Agreed.
I'm trying to remember how much of like special makeup effects we had for Saving Private Ryan in terms of the wounded.
I say that I would imagine that's what it has to be referring to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no. Yes. I actually have no idea if old Matt Damon actually looked like that or if he's in makeup. Because after we talk about Gloria Stewart and Maggie Smith, I don't.
Yeah.
He's in. I know him from House of a Thousand Corpses, and I think he looked the same.
And then, yeah, The Fall in 99. Topsy Turvy beating out Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. The Power of Fat Bastard, I guess. Bicentennial Man. And Life.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad Topsy Turvy is a very inspired choice. However, I don't think I'm gonna say it because the life makeup is so good, and as silly as it is, that fat bastard makeup is crazy.
Right.
But man, I love the aging in life. Um, I might have to go fat bastard, honestly. There's probably a lot of subtleties in Topsy Turvy I'm not remembering, but if we're talking like all out, I might have to land on fat bastard.
Agreed.
I can't remember whether we've already looked at 2000 with that, but in that respect, considering how much of a step up it took, I'm kind of surprised it didn't get in as a third nomination in 2002, especially when it was just Frida in the Time Machine that year. So there wasn't a
Yeah.
third entry. Because I don't think it was ineligible. Right, so AJ, you get to decide the next decade. So we're covering editing again, and we've already touched on the 70s, the 90s, and the 2000s. So I guess, do we want to go back in time or further back in time?
Did we not do the 2010s?
Not yet.
Let's just do that. That's easy. We were all there for those seasons. We can do it.
So, Bri, if you're either still watching or on archive, 2010s editing. There we go. Bri says 2010s. It is. All right.
The social there, we got the first one out of the way.
Yeah. Then we just got to work on the editing for sort of All About Eve and things like that in the 50s when we get around to it. Oh, Jordan Peele's next movie is not coming out in 2026 apparently now. Universal's moved it. I'll just seeing if there's anything last minute before we head off.
We're looking at a clean 2 hours.
Pretty much.
A shade over, but basically.
So, yes. We'll be returning not live, but in this form, I should say, for our September predictions later on in the month. And then, just like this, we'll do a video following on from that. I think the aim is sort of a week after, roughly, but if it's like the day after because of schedules and whatever, you know, that'll happen and things like that. So keep an eye on the socials.
The only thing we know is there won't be any lives in the month of October.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is up in the air.
Owen, you want to take us out?
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us tonight, whether live or in archive, checking out another edition of, well, basically just hanging out and talking. Talked about movies like we always do, talked about other things as well. We're going to be a very busy. Each number is going to go without anything. Oh no, there's going to be more AJ content coming, more movie reviews are coming in the very near future. Probably.
I say that Caught Stealing, Toxic Avenger, and The Roses, and then I just have to watch the Thursday Murder Club, and then that'll be a video in a couple of days.
Yeah, so more AJ content's coming soon, and you have all of October for AJ content. So look forward to that. Ashley content will return to the channel as well. There's more snack stashes that are going to go up eventually. There's more gaming content to go up eventually. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I was on the Red Circle again for Voices of Liberty for Labor Day with more Echo sets. I have plenty of videos. I have Sippin' Snacks. I have concert footage. I have Voices videos. All this stuff is still yet to be put up on the channel, and it'll go up eventually. So yeah, there's lots of content on the channel. So you can follow Ashley on X at Ash is my name UK, and follow me at Sir Owen Disney. So that's going to be your show, and by the next time that we have this show, the next time that we're live here, well, live to archive, I guess you would say in this case, I'll be another year older and hopefully another year wiser, and you never know if I may have some good news to share. And 'tis the season after all. That being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. Don't forget to stream Red Guitar right now for water parks, and if lyrics were confidential, if it goes live before then, you can stream that on your music networks. Obviously, always stream Taylor Swift. And in the meantime, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. Always remember to have the best day ever. And until next time, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.